Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review morning briefing. It is Thursday, the 5th of February. I'm Derek Clark, and I'm joined this morning by Stevie Clifford from the Clifford Mobile. How goes it, Stevie?
Casa de Corsa this morning, Derek. So, listen, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very special day. It is our fearless presenter's birthday. Many happy returns to Derek. I believe it's a big birthday as well, Derek.
It is, Stevie,
many happy returns. Thanks for all your hard work. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for your hosting. And I'm delighted to bring it to you live from the Corsa, and it's absolutely freezing cold. Been kicked out my office. It's some laugh.
Well, thank you, Stevie. Yep, the big 4-0 today. I've been told to stick this rosette on by the wife, and this wonderful birthday present that I was surprised to open this morning. So big shout outs at the Rangers training. The whole tracksuit, incidentally, from the 1990 to 92, wasn't it? Back in the day, the old Admiral job. Big thank you as well to Michael from the Football Shirt Emporium up in Hamilton, who sorted it for us as well. It does a great job up there. It's a cracking store, folks. If you're ever in the town, then do pay him a visit. My wife was telling me that she wasn't sure if it would fit me, so he had Michael trying it on, who I think is of similar build, I think. So, it fits like a glove, Michael, so thank you for that. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Quick word for our podcast sponsors, Willows Fencing, the Glasgow-based fencing company you can trust. And, there's Johnny appearing. We'll stop the podcast spiel there. Johnny, how goes it? That's a surprise.
Just hearing that it's your 40th birthday, I can't believe it. No one told me. You kept that quiet, old Jin.
It's not something I don't think we shout from the rooftops about. The missus was actually more excited about my birthday this morning than I was. She was like Christmas morning for her. She said, "Get up, you need to open your present. You need to open your present." So there you go. But the big 4-0, can you believe it?
Well, you know, what the thing is scary about this is we were bright young things when we started the Rangers Review. We were young dudes, you know, carving out a future for this kind of content. And now we're all in our 40s. And apart from Josh, of course, who's still a kiddie. So there you go. But no, I wanted to come on and say happy birthday. And Derek, we did actually know it was your birthday. So there's a wee present in your inbox for you from all the lads at Rangers Review.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic. There you go. I'll open that once I come off the show. So there you go. Are you staying on, Johnny, if you get stuff to do?
You know what? I wasn't planning to, but I'll maybe hang about for 15 minutes and give you my take on last night.
Oh, there you go. We're in for a treat then, folks.
Stevie's going, oh, God. Oh,
no. not only Stevie. But listen, before we crack on with the game last night, a quick word for our podcast sponsors, Willows Fencing, the Glasgow-based fencing company you can trust and proud partners of the Rangers Review. If you need a new fence, folks, then these are the guys to call. No job is too big or too small. They offer free consultations and 10% off with the code Rangers Review over on their website, willows-fencing.com. Right, good to report on a convincing win from Rangers last night after a bit of a lacklustre first half. Got off to a good start, of course, with the James Tavernier penalty and the red card that was shown for the last man challenge on Jedi Gassama. It was a tad laboured first half. Rangers came out second half, got the second goal through Bojan Miovski. Great finish. Then substitutes happened, and we started seeing Andrei Skov-Olsen showing what he can do. Great finish from him to make it 3-0. A Jack Butland howler gave Kilmarnock a goal back before Oliver Antman scored his first goal in Rangers colours. And Mikey Moore, the man of the match, rounding things off with a brilliant finish in the dying embers of the game. 5 different goal scorers, 3 points, closed the gap to Hearts to 3 points, eaten into the goal difference as well. Stevie, there was plenty to like about last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think it ended a very it ended up.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry. I thought you were interrupting me there. Look, I don't think it was a great first half. And I think we took our time. There's a lot of individuals maybe that we can talk about with that. But collectively, I think we really came through. Substitutions made a massive difference. There was a huge uptake in performance. 2 Romans, I think, was excellent. There was a lot of positives for me, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, good stuff. You're just dropping that a wee bit there, but we got your point. Maka with the points here says, watch Stevie's vlog. He's a Romans fan. Only took 5 minutes to pass his eye test. Only took me about 30 seconds. Seeing him bombing up that left-hand side, that flank. And already I'm comparing him to Arthur Newman, Johnny. He looks at the real deal, this boy.
He was absolutely terrific. There's no doubt about it. He came on and he injected a lot of life into that play down the left side. Cutbacks, what? I mean, how long have people been asking for those? Quick, moves well, some lovely touches, very, very impressive. And I thought, to be fair, actually, not just Romans who looked good, the other new boys as well, I thought slotted in and played their part as well in making Rangers take that step to the next level, because, as you say, the first half was pretty insipid, wasn't it? You get that early goal, and then it was almost like the foot came off the pedal. The brakes went on, and Rangers just didn't quite find that second gear. But when the changes were made in the second half, all of a sudden things were a lot different. And a big shout out to Skov Olsen, because I thought he was good when he came on. He's had a bit of criticism. This is Rangers. Doesn't matter that you've not played football in a long time. You come in and you've only had 60 minutes, and then 80 minutes. He was getting criticised, and I thought when he came on, he looked a lot more lively, he looked a lot more bright, and what a fantastic finish that is. When you look at it from behind the goal, that's when you see just how top bins that is. And in the first touch, to scoop that out of your feet like that after that first touch, really, really showed a lot of quality. So great to see him get off the mark too. And I thought Nadiri also showed promise. So second half was certainly, there was a lot to write home about, Derek. It was good stuff.
Yeah, when I was on the post-match last night, Stevie, someone commented in saying that the difference was it was the old Rangers first half and the new Rangers second half. Of course, no new signings in that starting 11, but when they came on second half, they certainly made an impact. Aside from that, obviously, Tochi Chikwani, who never came on, but the rest of the boys certainly impressed, didn't they? Oh, it's gone silent again. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, they did.
There we go.
Can you not hear me? This is as bad as the press conference last.
You just keep cutting out.
We're having some
night when
some
I
issues with your
completely
connection there, Stevie.
Yeah. Give me 5, right?
Thank God I came on, Derek. I've rescued you from talking to yourself.
Right, where should we go then? Right, I wanted to bring up Danny Rohl's post-match press conference, Johnny, because as I touched on there, the first half, it wasn't the best, let's be honest. It was slow, laborious. Kilmarnock had the better of the opportunities, and Neil McCann referenced this in his post-match interview as well. I think he was bang on about it. Kilmarnock looked the more threatening of the two teams. Now, the team, there were boos as they trudged off the park into the dressing room, and Daniel was asked about this in his post-match press conference. This is what he had to say.
I couldn't understand this, I must say this. I love our fans, really. But today I was really surprised. I think in the last couple of weeks we spoke about and we want to be together, and we need the crowd. We lead very early in this first half. And then I was really surprised. But it's my job then to give my players the right feeling for this game, the right instruction. What we saw today is that we have a strong bench now. I think this is crucial, and this is in football. Yeah, some players start, and everyone knows the first 60 minutes. Sometimes it's harder than the last 30 minutes. Great is that some players scored. We want to create confidence, give them minutes. Yeah, and that's the reason why I'm very, very proud of my group at the moment. It's not about me. It's not about my person, it's all about my group, because they deserved a lot of credit for what I did, because in some moments we forget very soon and very quick in which position we were 10 weeks ago, and it was not me, it was my group who comes from a position from behind, from 14 points now to 3 points. Maybe this deserves sometimes a little bit positive energy.
There you go, Johnny. What do you make of that? We've got Stevie back, incidentally. We'll bring him in shortly, but having a go at the fans who booed last night. Is he right to do that?
No, I don't think so, Derek. I thought it was a rare misstep from Danny Rohl. He would be wise to look up Richard Goff's famous quote, at other clubs, you're only as good as your last game. At Rangers, you're only as good as your last pass. It's always been like that. That's one of the challenges of playing for this football club, ultimately. There's enormously high standards, and if you don't meet them, then the Rangers fans will not be slow in letting you know about it. That's part of the culture of the club. And it's difficult. Sometimes it's unhelpful. Sometimes it's challenging. But it's one of the core tenets of what makes this club what it is. And if you play as poorly as Rangers played, having gone ahead after 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it was, then I think the fans are going to let you know that they're not happy at seeing a team that's just powder puff, that offers so little attacking threat and that doesn't penetrate. So I just ultimately think Danny has to accept that as part of the kind of the way Rangers are. I think there's some valid criticisms at times about, if games are in the balance and people are leaving on the 80th minute or whatever to get a subway home because they don't want to be sitting in queues. I think that's a more valid criticism. But in terms of Rangers fans having a voice and saying they're unhappy with the level of performance, I'm sorry, I just can't agree with that. I can't get on board with it, Derek. I don't think it's right.
It's a tough crowd at times, Stevie. What is your stance on it? There's certainly in the comments, there are some saying that the fans are right to vent their frustration given what they witnessed. There are others saying that they shouldn't be doing that. And Danny Rohl certainly didn't feel they should be doing that. Your views on it?
First of all, apologies.
We've got you. There we go.
There we go. Back in the office. Now, this could be disastrous because I'm in a working office. I did have the meeting room booked today and I've been shunted out. So I was shunted out to the car. Now we're in here. So I can only apologise, everyone. But that does change as of next week. I get 1 day working from home, Derek. So I'll go a 4-day week and I can do the Rangers review in all its glory. So apologies, everyone. What did I think of last night? I thought Danny Rohl was right. And I also thought the fans had a point too. We're in a title race, right? And here's where it becomes a bit of a confliction in what I'm saying. We're in a title race, and with that, the fans need to realise this is a title race. It's going to be sticky some weeks. And I think there needed to be a wee bit more poise in last night, and just remember Rangers were 1-0 up. Was it great? No. Was it terrible? No, it wasn't either. So I think that we are really quick at the moment to rubbish what we're watching without there being any context to it. And I don't think there was any context to the booing last night. Rangers could have been 3-0 up at half time, as equally as Bruce Anderson could have equalised for Kilmarnock. McComa was through with more chances at the other side, having already gone 1-0 up. So I just think there lacked a wee bit of calmness that we need to help the players with as well. So I can understand why Danny Rohl said it, and I do agree with him. But I can also understand Johnny's point as well. I just think there needs to be a balance found. I think there's a lot of things going on in the kind of mindset of the Rangers fans at the moment is nobody really wants to believe we're in a title race because we don't want that hurt. If inevitably, some people feel inevitably, we'll kind of fall down and things like that as well. So there is that side of it, Derek, and I don't think people want that. So I think there's a lot of tension in the stadium at the moment as well. But as much as, the players need to realise, so do the fans. 2 wins for Rangers and we'll be top of the league. That's the position we're in. Everybody needs to get their head round that, and they also need to get behind it as well, on and off the pitch. So realism of where we are, what Danny Rohl's doing. This isn't Barcelona, it's not Real Madrid. This is Rangers, the level we're at the moment. The turnaround, the job that Danny Rohl has done, I think it's been exceptional. I don't think he could have done much more, really. And there needs to be a wee bit of realism of who he's dealing with in the situation and where we actually are, which is 2 wins away from going top of the league with 11 games to go. So, I think we need to all kind of muck in, big boy pants on, and get behind the team as much as possible.
Yep, I tend to agree with that. Now, the first half, let's be honest, it wasn't the best.
It wasn't, Derek, but it wasn't the atrocious mess that everybody's saying it is. We shouldn't be doing the team being 1-0 up at half time, going in Could it be lukewarm or whatever? Fine. Booing them, I don't agree with it.
Stevie, but we've seen this for decades. I mean, this is nothing new, is it?
Maybe though, if you're getting beat, fair enough.
Yeah, but there is
high
Johnny,
standards.
You're right in what you're saying, right? But we saw that in great teams, treble-winning teams, Advocates, McLeish's teams, and everything else. This is not it. This is Danny Rohl dealing with a squad which we know isn't good enough, a team that isn't good enough, a team that he took over that were, I think, 8th or 9th in the league. And, you know, the context is there for it. We're now in a title fight. He's put us in, the team have put us in a title fight. You need to back them. You have to get behind them as much as possible and unite. And look, I get the grumps and the moans. I really do. And I'm not saying that it was all wonderful, but it wasn't terrible. We were 1-0 up.
Yeah.
So trust the manager and trust the players to get in at half-time and fix it. I would much rather that than we have the reaction last night, which was toxic, and it doesn't help.
Yeah, Stevie, listen, I don't disagree. And if you're asking me if I think it's right, then no, I don't. But I just think it's part of this club for every year that I've been on this earth and been a watcher of what's happening. So I suppose what I'm kind of trying to say is I don't think it'll change. And I don't think... I don't really think it's that big a problem. I think it's overplayed. If you're looking at last night, it's just a feedback mechanism to tell the players that what they were seeing wasn't that good enough. Stevie, I wasn't there, listen, right? So you can tell me, was it really, really pronounced? Because it didn't sound it on the feed that I was watching. It sounded like it would be, you know, it sounded like it was essentially, you know, a small number of people just letting the players know how they were performing.
I would say it was about 50%.
Right.
As loud as it could have been. I mean, I've obviously heard it a lot louder. We had plenty of practice under Russell Martin. But this is it was more grumpiness than it was ferocious, if that makes sense. But it was certainly loud enough. I think it's, you know, here's how I would describe why everybody was upset, and people in the comments can tell me if it's right or wrong. But the reason why we all love watching Mikey Moore is because he plays with an urgency, a tempo, an urgency to get in the ball to try and make things happen. You look at other players who almost seem laboured in what they're doing, and it spreads out the performance. So when we're watching Rangers, watching it last night, it's a laboured performance. And apart from when it gets to him, it becomes brighter. Things start to happen. You've got no 9 as a target up front. Miovski, anonymous. Tello Aasgaard, completely anonymous in the game. And that's your frustration because Kilmarnock are down to 10 and we're almost evening it up. And it's that passive, slow pace that sets the tone of the team. And it starts to resonate in the crowd. And that's why when Mikey Moore gets the ball, everybody's up for it because they see him wanting to be urgent, wanting to make things happen. And then goes to the other players and it's just like, ugh. And that is what's translating into the stands. And that's what they're then feeding us back. I agree with that. I disagree with that, sorry, completely. Chris Smith. Killie made one chance, which Bruce Anderson put wide. Apart from that, there was nothing else. So I don't agree with that. I think, again, there's a lack of context from people in the stands about where we are and you know what is carving us apart. So we're stronger, absolutely, everybody together and driving the team on, and I just believe that that's the way it should have been. Did I think it was great at halftime? No, I'm not saying the world beaters in, but did I think it was booing worthy? No, I don't think it is.
I think the starting lineup sort of got people in a downer to begin with. I mean, I know that the comments
were
coming in the pre-match with Chris and folk were. I mean, it went down like a lead balloon. They were going, where are the new signings? Where's Manny Fernandez, Chermiti? Well, not so much Chermiti, but Manny Fernandez. Dujon Sterling, we know that Daniel said he was rested. Fernandez has got a knee issue at this point in time. He's played a lot of games. He was saying Chermiti has required 7 stitches and has been struggling to walk after a challenge in the game at Hibs at the weekend. So that is the reason why he was missing in the game. But there's a comment actually that came in and a donation from Magic Man. Thank you for that, sir. He says, 12-minute post-match pressure. No one explained why the fans were frustrated at halftime. And when is someone going to hold them to account on Aasgaard? It's not doing it, this lad, is he, Johnny? Stevie wants to jump in, but I'll come to Johnny first. But again, not at the races really last night, was he?
Yeah, just a quick point on the last point. Sorry to go back. I wanted to come in there. I will say about Aasgaard, but listen, I think the most important thing about all this debate, we can all have our own opinions on, and a lot of it is based on like what era of Rangers you grew up in and all that. Regarding this, I think the big question is, will Danny Rohl calling that section of the fans that booed out make a difference? Will it change it? I don't think it will. I think the reality is that fans who like to go along and have their say will continue to do that, and that's always been something that I've seen at Ibrox over my time going. So I don't think it'll change. But if Danny Rohl saying that does change it and does make them more supportive and does engender more of a sense of, right, okay, this team, like Stevie says, isn't quite at the level that we're used to, so let's cut them a bit of slack, let's get behind them more, then if it does do that, then it will help. So fair play to Danny Rohl. If by saying it he thinks he can make an impact, then that could be a difference maker. As for Aasgaard, Derek, look, I find him incredibly frustrating because there's no lack of talent when it comes to Tello Aasgaard. This is a guy with a wonderful touch, who's got physicality, who's able to dribble the ball in a nice penetrating way. I think there's a player there, but he has got this awful, I don't know if you would call it a sensibility or a flaw in his game where he just has the propensity to disappear down a trapdoor. He doesn't get involved in games in a tangible way. He disappears. And, you know, for someone that you're looking to be your chief creative force, someone who can give you goals and assists, it's frustrating watching him because you just know that the quality is there if he can find it. And I wonder if he turned the corner after those goals. You know, I think it was 4 goals in a few games.
Yep.
But he still has this situation where a player of the quality that he has just doesn't really impact games and kind of floats through. And I think Stevie was spot on in what he said about, you know, Kamara being down to 10 men. Well, Rangers kind of looked like they were down to 10 men because Aasgaard just wasn't getting involved. And if you look at this side and they're all set up, for me, that is now the number one area that requires an upgrade. Neither Aasgaard or Barami are good enough to be the main Rangers creative focal point. And I think both are talented guys. I just think they're both in the wrong movie. And maybe Aasgaard just needs more time. Maybe season 2 Aasgaard, it'll all come together. Like I say, I do believe there is quality there. But he's just not delivering, Derek. And he's not delivering consistently, I think. And we've seen the first half of the season be very poor. A small burst of form when he got goals. Certainly a threat in the box, and I think Scott Fry will be wanting him in the box because...
Oh, Johnny's frozen on us there. He's done a Stevie in the car. So at that point, I think we'll come to you, Stevie, on that point. What an image that is. There you go. The floor is yours, Stevie.
Some show today, isn't it? Incidentally, did you see my question to Danny Rohl last night?
Yes.
I got tongue-tied because he said to me, "Don't ask on individuals," and I was dying to ask him on two Romans because I was really impressed. So I tried to word it in another way, and somebody messaged me this morning saying, "Is your teeth back in you?" And honestly, Danny's great though. Danny spoke to me afterwards, and we were chatting. He said he understood and all that, and but in a live situation like that, Derek, being a professional, have you ever had that before yourself?
You've been there many a time, Stevie.
Oh, mate, honestly. Yeah. So, yeah, it went as well as this show is going this morning, technically. Right, okay, Tello Aasgaard. People will know that I'm renowned for my great esteemed patience when it comes to Rangers players. Tello Aasgaard's not good enough, Derek. Technically, absolutely great. I think he's a good player. doesn't affect the game. He's far too deep. He wants too many touches. He only gets the ball when it's in the middle, halfway line, constantly halfway line. He's never getting it in the final third. He's never affecting play. The goals he's scored and pitched in with have been great, but they've not been works of magic. Johnny says that he can penetrate teams and stuff like that. I don't remember too many penetrating Tello Aasgaard runs. I don't remember too many assists from Tello Aasgaard either. The goals he's got have been good, but I do remember 3 or 4 half-time substitutions when it comes to Tello Aasgaard, because he floats along through games. He doesn't involve himself enough. He's not constant enough. And here's what I was talking about with Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore playing with that urgency, that drive, that ability to go and affect a game. Tello Aasgaard doesn't do that. And this isn't one performance, Derek. We're now 7 months into his Rangers career. If he hasn't figured it out yet, then he's going to continue to struggle. I think it was Magic Man who made the donation and brought up the question, why is nobody holding him to account over Tello Aasgaard? I've asked twice on Tello Aasgaard. I asked, would you have to bring in other players to affect the final third if the players here aren't capable? These have all been asked in previous press conferences. Indeed, I think Danny Rohl said that he needs to work with him to try and get the best out of him. So this isn't ignoring the kind of process of it. We have breached it with him many times before.
Yeah. Totally forgot that Rangers conducting a press conference today. Stevie Smith up just previewing the game at the weekend against Queen's Park. So yeah, we'll bring you that on the YouTube channel. It might not actually be on just now, who knows, but it will be there at some point, folks. Lots of comments coming in. I'll rattle through a few of them. Pauline and many others saying happy birthday, Derek. My son's birthday too, so happy birthday to your son, Pauline. Serena also gets in touch saying I share a birthday with CR7 Neymar and her son Lewis, who is 17 today. So happy birthday, Lewis. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. I love this. The Blue End says Johnny reminds me a little bit of the Chief from Scott Squad, which is a fantastic show, and I get the similarities, to be honest. Blue Nose John says Stevie has a top boss. Yeah, absolutely does. They get to do the review in his workspace. Bolt Your Ball Bag and a few others, Stevie, last night bringing up Giga's attire. Paying tribute to the founding fathers last night with his gear. What was all that about?
See, that's like one of those memes you get when it says you've got the football at like 7:45, but you need to be in your bed by 10:30. Like, what was he doing? And it's not like I'm a fashionista, Derek, or one of these like people that know how to dress and all that. I'm a pair of jeans and hoodie or a jumper guy, but I mean, it just looked bizarre, and he was wearing the tiniest shorts as well. Like, what's happening there? So I just honestly don't know what was happening. Incidentally, I thought he was decent last night, Giga. He settled down slightly. Horror moment for the goal from Jack Butland, which was really disappointing. Jack's been excellent this season, but is absolutely prone to throwing one in. I'm glad there was a couple of goals last night that averted the attention away from that towards the end. But positive wise, Ollie Ant-Man on the left looked much better, and he looked much better because I thought two Romans. Again, I'll go back to him. I thought he was great, Derek. So there's a lot of positives there. See, the thing is, in what I was trying to ask the manager, and it took me about an hour and a half to spit it out, because of Romans running on the left-hand side, it freed up Ant-Man. So he could cut in, and Moore then overloaded. So everybody shuffled over at the left, and it allowed Skov Olsen to come in from the right because Kilmarnock moved over that side too, naturally. And it found space. I don't know if people picked up on the fact that Diamandi had 2 or 3 opportunities from the edge of the box as well, because the runs were happening down that left side from Romans. So everything, because we were suddenly running beyond and making those movements, everybody found space as a consequence of what Romans was doing and what Ant-Man was doing. So Ant-Man would hug out on the left and come in as Romans overlapped. Skov Olsen come in from the right, and everybody just moved in a domino effect, and Diamandi stood at the edge of the box. And it just, for the first time in a while, it looked good. Nadiri constantly moving, constantly battling, constantly trying to win the ball back and press. We've not had that. We've not had that in a very long time. So that movement was why all of a sudden Rangers looked, and they went from being stagnant in the first half, which is the easiest way I'll describe it, to having that urgency and that threat. And really pleased for Ant-Man, because there is a player somewhere in there.
Yeah,
he's not shown it. He's not shown it in his there's left where he done so well in Holland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So could you play him on the left? Could you play Scove on the right? Could you play Mikey Moore as a 10? These are options we're going to need. By the way, Ollie Ant-Man is not had a good season, right? And I'm not saying he's even showed up. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. But if Oliver Ant-Man suddenly produces 3 goals and 4 assists or 5 assists in this running, he is going to contribute, Derek, when we most need it. So, there's no point in writing him off. He's here to the summer. We need to get behind him, much like we need to get behind Aasgaard. But Aasgaard needs to show that desire and hunger that Ant-Man did last night. Was he wonderful, Ant-Man, like skinning people and all that? No, but he constantly wanting the ball, constantly using the overlap, constantly in good positions, scores and assists. He got numbers. Tell Aasgaard isn't doing that enough for me. He pitched in a couple of goals, which was great, but he's not a consistent threat. And the reason he's annoying to the support is because I think everybody watches it and goes, you're a player, but it looks like you can't be arsed. And that's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? And it's just, it is what it is, Derek. Unfortunately, it's just a frustration. But I do think, to sum up the stuff we've been talking about tonight, I think there needs to be a realisation amongst the support that we're in a title race. Booing them is going to be counterproductive to an extent. I understand why.
It helps the opposition in a way as well, doesn't it?
Can we not all galvanise behind? We wanted a title race. We wanted a January signings. We wanted this team to start getting results. Well, let's do our bit and get behind them and see if we can help drive them towards a title. Because, as I said, 2 games' time, we could be top of this league. Everybody needs to get mentally there with that.
Yep.
And help push in the right direction as one.
The game on Wednesday is absolutely huge. A few points before we wrap things up. Thierry's kindly donated to the channel. Thank you, Thierry. Says, what's happening with Bailey Rice? Any news? I know that Danny Rohl was asked about him.
Last week, didn't I?
Yeah. Was asked about him recently. He's had niggling injuries, of course, but whether we see him or not is another matter. I know he's out of contract in the summer, so it's a big couple of months for Bailey Rice, Stevie.
So the story last week was that Bailey Rice would be offered a contract extension from Rangers, and Danny Rohl was keen to keep him. I asked the manager that, and he very bluntly shut me down. And we're best friends, so it was rather upsetting for me, Derek, as you know. But he basically said he's got a long-term injury, and when he comes back and settles down, we'll see. And that was the extent of it. There was no contract stuff talked about. There was no answer given. So with that, and with Danny Rohl's answer, we really just need to wait and see where Bailey Rice is. He did have a really bad injury. He's starting to get over that. So it is one of those ones, isn't it?
Yeah. Just hopefully he's back training.
6 weeks. That's a good comment from Bluebell as well. 6 weeks is about where I expected him to be, and considering he was supposed to be out for the rest of the season, that's still good news for us. So he could end up getting some bench time and things like that. Incidentally, Derek, I do think we'll keep him. I do think you'll maybe see a year extension from Bailey Rice, and to see if he can stay fit and keep up. So we'll need to wait and see.
Yeah, I hope so. Dennis with a point. I don't know if did you predict this on your?
So
it says I asked him about his red card prediction.
Right, last night on the vlog, weirdest thing. So we were starting up, and I had Ian Mitchell from This Is Ibrox and Davey Heard for 4 lads with me, and I said just before we started, I said there'll be a red card tonight, and that left back will get sent off. Every time I've seen him, he's looked hungry to get sent off, and he was the one I think arguing with the fans and stuff. Honestly, Derek, he just he looks to me like a total flight risk. And so I said it to the boys, and sure enough, 2 minutes later, he promptly got sent off. And listen, I say stuff all the time at the football. Every time we get a corner, I'm like, guys, this is it. Here comes a goal and stuff, and it never happened. So this one was a strange, weird prediction. I just got a really weird feeling about it. And I don't gamble. Otherwise, I would have had a couple of 10 pences on it. But I didn't expect it to happen after 3 minutes. But it was it was a good moment. Weirdly, to sit there and kind of see that unfold. But yeah, it is what it is.
I read for you, Neil McCann said that he wasn't aware of where Gassama was, but
Nonsense.
a red card.
Absolute nonsense.
A red card.
Two things last night. Tavernier was never a red card.
Yeah.
And the actual decision for the penalty in red was correct.
Yeah. There you go.
If Gassama stops and invites a contact, he's allowed to do it because he's in front of the man and he's made that run. So even if that bit is true or whatever, or he initiate whatever, the defender needs to defend, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses there for me. I know what Neil McCann's saying. I don't agree with him. And as for Tav, the ball that is put through, the boy's never getting in the first place. And secondly, the reason why it's slight contact is because it's a contact sport. It's minimum, and it's not a foul. And I thoroughly agree with it. And I just thought, understand what Neil's trying to do. He wants to concentrate on the positives and use that as a cushion for his team. Truth is, Derek, aside of Bruce Anderson's chance and the one that we gifted them that they did score, it was a fairly comfortable night for Rangers. Defended well, and they were fine.
And second half, didn't he?
What's that?
They blew a gasket a bit the second half.
Of course they did that for 10 men, but Rangers have still got to make that work for them, and they did, especially in the last kind of 25 when Tour and that come on. So, yeah, I understand McCann's point. I'm just not sure I agree with it.
Yep. And there's a comment that came in from David. He says, are we allowed to boo yous at full time?
Oh, yeah, definitely should.
So there you go. You're quite right to boo our show today.
I think Johnny said he was only coming on for 15 minutes, so his meter probably just ran out. You know what I mean? So, and I tried the car just so I wouldn't. I've got an office full of people who have not said anything in about 15 minutes.
Well, credit to them. They've done a great job
for them. So thank you to everybody. I apologise. But honestly, today, just to kind of round it up again, Derek, just want to wish you many, many happy returns. Big birthday for you today, mate. Really appreciate everything you do for us on the show and ever present, etc. Except when you're away in Iceland, which appears to be every week these days.
Well, I'm going on Sunday, incidentally.
I know you are. I know. I heard all about it. So, but no. Have a great day, mate. Thoroughly deserved, and best wishes to you.
Top man. Cheers, Stevie, and thank you to each and every one of you for the birthday wishes in the chat as well. Very much appreciated. Tomorrow, I'm not too sure who's on tomorrow, but we'll have people filling in ably in place of myself. I'm back a week on Friday, folks. Right, enjoy your Thursday, whatever you are up to, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.